Welcome to this session of mindfulness and awareness and compassion practice. What we'll do in this session, as we usually do, is a series of short practices, starting with getting settled and centered. And we're going to do that working with our posture, and we're going to do that with our eyes closed. After that, the next series of practices will be with our eyes open. So you'll want to turn your device or turn your screen so that you're not looking directly into the screen. And we'll be working with the sensation of the breathing, then opening up to the environment. And then what we find in the environment are other beings. And so the last part of the session will be working with kindness and compassion for ourselves and the people that we relate with. Excuse me. What I thought it would be interesting to take a look at today has to do with patience. And sometimes we think of patience as just hanging in there with the situation. The funny thing is there's an energy that goes with that that's actually impatience. All right, well, I'll have to put up with this for a while. But that's not really patience. Patience is accepting the situation and staying with it with an open quality, a curious quality. Now, what we can examine as we go through our day is the qualities of irritation that arise, particularly with others and with ourselves. So, what is this irritation? We're worked up about something, or we're uptight about something. I ask people, have they ever heard the expression down tight? No one's ever heard that because there's no such thing. Whenever we're uptight and nobody gets worked down about things, they get worked up about things. And conversely, no one has ever calmed up. So we need to calm down, and that's how we work with our energy. It's the awareness part is noticing, are we worked up or are we calmed down? We get worked up about others, and it usually has a little bit of a righteous quality of, why did they do that? And why can't they do this? And why don't they stop? When will they stop? And when will they get started? And it's always, what's wrong with them? They're to blame for my irritation. And of course, a lot of that is projection. I always enjoy the saying, it really irritates me when they do that thing that I do. But then we look at ourselves and we go, why did I do that? And why couldn't I have done this? And why didn't I do that? And it's irritation with ourselves instead of patience with ourselves. So we can make friends with ourselves. That doesn't mean do whatever we want and who cares about the consequences. We can look at things and learn from it and say, I'd rather do it differently next time. And that's where mindfulness and awareness comes in, that I'm aware of what I did, and next time I'll be more mindful, hopefully. That's my intention, to be more mindful. So, kindness to ourselves and giving ourselves a break and not assuming the worst about others. That's all about patience. So, as we practice and as you go through your life, just notice where your energy is. Is it up? Am I getting uptight and worked up? And if so, take a breath and calm down. And take a look at where is this irritation coming from? Are they imposing that on me, or is it my expectations, assumptions, judgments that's giving rise to this? And that will help pacify some of that. And I like to say you can't see straight if you're bent out of shape. So when we calm down, then we can see clearly and we can make decisions of what to accept, what to reject, what to cultivate, what to refrain from. Okay, so let's get started. And we'll start with our posture. We do this practice in a sitting posture because traditionally, when people practice lying down, they tend to fall asleep. Standing up, they tend to move around. So we're going to eventually be able to take our mindfulness awareness into action in every day, but we need to first cultivate it. We need to put ourselves in a neutral position where we're not moving. So we're sitting either on a chair or a cushion on the floor. And you want to have your sit bones, the part that's pressing into your seat, evenly balanced, so you're not tilted to one side or the other. And your spine is upright but not rigid, so you're not tilted forward or back. If you can, sit up without leaning back against something. If physically you have to lean back against something, it's also helpful to put a little something against the small of your back so that you're more upright rather than slumped back against the wall or the chair. Now, for your legs, you can, if you're in a chair, if you're on a cushion on the floor, you'll sit cross-legged. On a chair, you have your feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart, so that your lower legs, your shins, are vertical, perpendicular to the ground. And if your knees are higher than your hips, if the chair is low or your legs are long, you can also cross, it's helpful to cross your legs at the ankles and widen your knees so that they're lower than your hips. That takes some of the pressure off of your lower back and your hips and upper legs. And as I said, for your torso, feel like it's upright but not rigid. And as the back extends up into your neck and the back of your head, it's helpful to feel like there's a straight line from the top of the back of your head all the way down to your tailbone. It isn't actually straight, there's curvature to your spine. But if you feel that straight, what happens is the back of your head and your neck become vertical rather than tilted forward or stretched out or tilted up. So you feel when you do that, your chin just comes in a little naturally. You don't pull it in, but it comes in naturally. Because if we're tilted down, we get sleepy. Tilted up, we get spaced out. And we go through our day so much towards what's ahead of us that our chin is extending out and we're bent over forward with that forward momentum. So this is sitting upright, not with any intention of moving in any direction. Your arms, let your upper arms hang straight down from your shoulders and swivel your lower arms up so that your forearms go along your thighs and your hands are palm down on each thigh. You can experiment with this, but you may find it helpful. The center of your breastbone, feel like your sternum, your breastbone, goes up and forward just a tiny bit, up and forward a tiny bit, and you feel your chest open, your shoulders come back a little bit, in line with your ears, your spine, everything lines up that way, and it opens your chest for your breathing. It takes a little bit of tension there to do that. Don't force it. Just try it. Experiment with that. Hold it for a little while at least. Your jaw is relaxed but not hanging slack open. And we're going to breathe in through our nose And as you breathe out, if it comes out, some comes out your mouth, that's not a problem at all. So your lips can be either very lightly touching or very slightly parted. Your tongue can relax in your mouth just however it is, or you can let it float up. And this is a traditional placement. And that is, let the tip of your tongue rest gently against the upper palate, just behind your teeth, your front teeth. And it said that reduces the flow of saliva a little bit. Now, if you have some saliva in your mouth, go ahead and swallow. If you have a sharp pain, definitely move. If you need to, it's okay to move, but do it in a mindful way. In other words, if you feel like you need to move, just think, okay, I'm going to move now, and then do it gently, and then resume your posture. So you can let your eyes gently close. We want to inhabit our body fully. Too often we're like a little person up here in our head, and our body's just our transport vehicle. So really fully inhabit your body. Check it out. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Feel your ankles, your shins. Your calves, calf muscles, your thighs. Hips. Move them around. Feel that balance again of your sit bones pressing evenly into the cushion. Your torso. Chest upright and open. Arms, forearms, hands, shoulders and neck and your head. Fully inhabiting your body. Now, we carry a lot of unnecessary tension along with us that we're often not aware of. So let's sweep that away. You can either think of it as sweeping or melting. That as your awareness discovers this tension, just being aware of it, it melts and flows down and out of your body. And start with your scalp, forehead, face, jaw. Again, often more tension than we realize in our jaw. We're clenching and don't realize it. So without your mouth opening up, just let it soften. Your neck, shoulders, you may be holding them up and not realizing it. Just let them don't push them down, but just let them naturally fall. Take a breath, breathe out, let your shoulders just fall. We have a little tension in our chest that we're using to hold our breastbone up a tiny bit. But let your upper arms, your back and your rib cage just soften. Lower back, stomach, deep belly. Often our deep belly and our pelvic region, we're clenching and don't even realize it. Take a breath, breathe out, and let go without losing your posture of the tension in your deep belly and your pelvic region. Hips, thighs, forearms, and hands. Let your hands rest without extra tension. Knees, calves, ankles, and feet. Now return your awareness to your deep core, your deep belly. Feel the three-dimensionality of your torso, front to back as well as side to side. We often go through life as if we're our reflection in a mirror, two-dimensional, just our front. But there's depth forward to back. So rest your awareness deep in your core, a couple of inches below your navel, just in front of your spine. It's quiet down there. Your body is breathing and it creates a rhythm of expanding and contracting deep in your core. Let your body breathe itself. We're going to be observers of our breathing rather than directors or controllers. And tune in to the rhythm of that breathing. Gently filling, gently emptying. It's like the rhythm on a calm day of surf coming gently up the beach and then back into the ocean. We breathe in and gather. We breathe out and let go. Just relax and enjoy that calming rhythm of filling and emptying. Sometimes it's a long breath or a short one, a deep one or a shallow one, doesn't matter. You're just observing and feeling the rhythm of your breathing. Now we're going to include mindfulness of the space that we're in our posture. So let your eyes open just halfway. Look down under your eyelids. Soften your gaze so you're not looking at anything particular. You're just seeing the space that your body's sitting in. Aware of your posture. Aware of that rhythm of the breathing. And aware of the internal sensation of the rhythm of filling and emptying. And we'll do that for a couple of minutes. You may find that your mind wandered off into a daydream. One thought led to another to another. We get absorbed in our daydreams, so we lose perception of our breathing, of our body, of anything around us. But at a certain point it pops, and as soon as it does, as soon as you realize, oh, I was someplace else, you're already back. So reconnect with your posture when that happens. Relocate your awareness to your deep core. Just return to that awareness of breathing. If you've gotten sleepy and your eyes closed, just open your eyes fully in a normal way. And put your attention on the feeling of the breath coming in and out your nostrils. Cool and dry coming in, warm and moist going out. If you find that your mind has been very, very busy, and you come back just for a breath or two and you're gone again, rest your awareness deep in your core and notice the texture and all the details as much as you can of that feeling of starting to fill, filling, and then full, the tiny gap of transition and starting to empty, emptying, and empty. Tune to the details of that experience. We'll continue for a minute or two more. As the gong fades, just reconnect your posture, readjust your posture, move a little bit, refresh. Traditionally, it's taught that certain practices like this are good to do short sessions, then refresh and start again. So, when you're ready, retake your posture. Again, be sure your screen is set so you're not looking directly into it. Let your eyes be open naturally, and then soften your gaze. Open up your peripheral vision, side to side. Relax your face muscles. Open up your peripheral vision, side to side, top to bottom. Again, not looking at anything particular, just letting your eyes rest in that direction. It'll be slightly below, it's natural to be slightly below the horizon, but open to the whole space in front and around you. As our breath goes out, it becomes part of the atmosphere. It stops being our breath and starts being part of the environment. As we breathe in, we're breathing in the atmosphere from the environment, and it becomes part of us. So we're not so separate. Breathe out and feel that connection. Breathing in is a gathering energy. Breathing out is an opening, calming energy. So we focus a little more on the out-breath. And let your mind open up. Use the out-breath as a way to open up to the environment. So again, let your body do the breathing, but just ride the breath out, open up to the space, and rest in the space while your body breathes in. Your mind opens out, the body breathes in. Now, in that open space, there are perceptions. Because you're open to the environment, there's an environment of colors, shapes, and shades of light and dark. Sounds, loud and soft, near and far, high and low pitch. There's the environment of your bodily sensations, the air on the skin of your hands and face. Pressure, feet on the floor, sit bones into the cushion. And the environment of thoughts. Thoughts appear in your mind. They bubble up. And let them appear in that big space of awareness. They come up and they go. Again, if one grabs hold of you and takes you into a series and do a daydream, you won't see anything in front of you, you won't hear anything around you, until suddenly you do and you're back. Again, posture, breathe out and open. Notice the texture of your experience of seeing, hearing, feeling, and what it's like for thoughts to appear and come and go in your mind. We'll do that for a few minutes. Once you've gotten comfortable with the rhythm of riding the breath out and opening, you can pay less attention to the breath and tune in to the other perceptions, sights, sounds, bodily sensations, and thoughts appearing and disappearing. You'll find that one at a time becomes the foreground, the others go to the background. Just notice how your mind moves from one perception to another. Might remain longer or shorter with any one of them. Just notice. The continuity through all the perceptions is awareness itself. That's your mind, the container, an open container without color or shape or size, in which all appearances arise: visual, auditory, tactile, and mental. Smells and tastes as well, but they're not so prominent right now. As the gong fades, raise your gaze up to the horizon or slightly above, and imagine that your awareness expands out beyond the room or the space that you're in, beyond the area that you're in, out all the way to the horizon, in all directions. And beyond that, open awareness as big as the sky. Awareness out to the sky in all directions. You can see the sky when you look at it, so your awareness extends that far. Imagine that it extends to the sky in all directions, and all the beings on this planet are under the same sky. Different places, but the same sky. We're all on the same earth. Some live in the water, but basically on the same earth in different places, but the same earth. Breathing the same atmosphere, different places, but it's still the earth's atmosphere. We all share that together. You can do the rest of this contemplation with your eyes open or closed, whichever is more comfortable. Just think of all those beings that the other thing we share is the desire for survival, and the desire for well-being, peace, health, happiness, and freedom from pain, anxiety, suffering. We all share that, all living beings. So establish from your heart of kindness and compassion just the wish, I wish that all beings, including ourselves, including myself, all beings could be free from the mental and physical suffering, pain, anxiety, illness, injury. Bring to mind the wish from your heart that all beings, including myself, have happiness, health, peace of mind, security, safety, well-being in body and mind. And set up a little bit of rhythm with your breathing, that as you breathe in, imagine that you're relieving beings of their suffering. As you breathe out, you're sending them well-being in body and mind, freedom from suffering in body and mind, feeling well-being in body and mind. If it's helpful, you can pick one or more loved ones that you know what makes them happy, you know what suffering they're going through, and work with that. Imagine as you breathe in, you're taking that away from them. As you breathe out, you're the suffering away from them. As you breathe out, you're sending them well-being that fills their whole existence. If you start with loved ones, then expand beyond that to more and more. Everyone you've ever met, everyone you can imagine, all living beings. We'll do that for a couple of minutes. You can explore working with feeling tone as well. Breathing in and feel like you're relieving them, taking away the feeling of downtrodden, heavy. Breathing out a feeling of uplifted and light. It raises their spirits. Take away the heaviness and despair. Fill them with uplifted and encouragement. And finally, we can go to the deep causes of so much suffering. The beings who are possessed by the poisonous emotions of greed, hatred, intolerance, jealousy, lust for power, and deep ignorance and closed-mindedness. Imagine that as you breathe in, you can remove those poisons from people, like the poison of a snake bite being drawn out. And instead, send and fill them with the opposite of understanding and tolerance, generosity, love, compassion, and kindness, and wisdom. And as the gong fades, let go of your contemplation, your imagination. If your eyes were closed, you can open them. Return to your posture, your body, your breathing, and the space that you're sitting in. Settling and centering for a few breaths. And we'd like to go further with an aspiration, and that is the intention to carry through our day to be as mindful and kind as we can be, and to be aware of when we become impatient with others and engender more patience and acceptance, and dedicate the practice that we're doing so that we can be of more benefit to ourselves and the world. So you can repeat after me or put in your own words, may the practice I have just done be of benefit to others as well as myself. And if you're feeling particularly generous, you can say, may the practice I have just done be of even more benefit to others than to myself. That's generosity. So thank you for your kind attention and your practice in the session of mindfulness, awareness, and compassion.